All right, so I'm going to get started. So, welcome to my free webinar on how to 10x your savings in under a year without making seven figures, being tech savvy, or being good with numbers. See if my computer wants to work. There we go. So, you're in the right place tonight. If you would like to experience 10x levels of growth in your mindset and savings, but simply don't know how, because most people are not taught this stuff. So it's hard to know what you don't know. You're tired of the social media gurus pushing tactics down your throat that simply don't work or contradict every other guru out there because one will say something and then you read another one completely saying that the first one's theory is wrong or just out of date, and it's difficult knowing what to follow. You've been working towards building a savings account for months or even years, and it feels unattainable because, I mean, come on, let's get real. Emergencies happen. And even if you manage to save up some emergency fund, it seems like you need to use it and then it just gets discouraging. But I mean, that's why you have it in the beginning and it is attainable. So, in the next 45 minutes, hopefully not too much longer than that, but I'll be showing you the keys to growing both a savings account and a financial mindset that will get you 10x financial growth in under 12 months. I'll share the biggest mistakes that Christians make when growing their savings. I'll reveal how step number 4 helped you stress less so you can shop without restriction. You'll understand why it's vital to get clear on precisely what you want with your savings and how to talk about it in a way that magnetically attracts your dream finances. Because, I mean, you attract what you preach, and law of attraction is real. You'll stop wondering if savings is possible and start making it all happen. I'll show what you need to do that feels aligned and intuitive to you because, again, not every stance and thing that is taught out there is aligned with you. Sometimes you need a specific and altered stepping stones pathway to get to the final result you're hoping for. And I'll show you how it's actually easy to save 10x while stressing less because finances are the number one stressor in our lives. It's proven. So, if you've ever thought the government and banks want you to fail, you're probably right. I mean, if you think about it, they don't benefit from your success. The way they make their money is by fees and charges. They want you to stay in debt and in need because when you only pay the minimal amount of credit card, then that interest is going in their pocket. They don't want you to be financially healthy. So the difference with me is that I actually care about your success and truly want to see you living the best life. Like that is my end game here. And I just love watching others win. So my promise to you is this, that I'm here for you. I know you have a dream to change the world and obviously your bank account and make an impact. And I want to show you how to make that happen during this webinar. Does that sound like a great idea to you? So here's the deal. Saving 10,000 a year or whatever your 10x number is not an elusive, impossible number to achieve for an emergency or savings fund. Most Christians, even those with income well above 100,000 don't make nearly that because you can't, again, you don't know what you don't know. You can't save if you don't know how to. Results start with a strong vision and belief in what's possible, followed by serious action and the support of a mentor. So I'm not here to pitch a sale, but on the flip side, I want you to pay close attention and take notes. Turn off all distractions and give this 100% of your attention because this honestly could change your life. Does this sound familiar? No matter what you do or how much you save, you never seem to be able to save enough. You're confused by what's working and what isn't in the world of savings today, and you feel bad because you haven't been able to make cookie cutter systems work for you in the past. Like I said, that you'll learn one thing with finances, and then 10 minutes later, someone's contradicting that. You're sick of not having enough time with your family or the money to live the lifestyle you deserve. You struggle with staying consistent in your mindset growth efforts because you just don't know what to do. You're confused and overwhelmed by the constant and contradictory information that keeps coming at you online. You feel like after so many years of hard work, saving should just get easier and you should have way more money. So, have you ever thought if you could just make more money, only buy from thrift stores or other low cost things, get out of debt, then you'll save. Win the lottery, haven't we all? When the lottery's $2 billion. Get that raise or promotion. Wait for the perfect storm of everything coming together. But you know what? The truth is, no one has shown you the 5 steps I'm about to share with you because the truth also is everything that I listed prior is not the truth. Like, you do not need to make more money to be able to save. You winning the lottery should not be your end game. Once you master these 5 steps, you'll look back at a time when 10,000 seemed like a pipe dream and you'll have a smile and laugh because you'll have achieved it over and over again. You'll know exactly what to do to create a savings that earns you even more money, and you'll never worry about an emergency popping up because you'll have a fund to cover it. Once you expertly execute what I'm about to teach you, you'll actually be excited about saving because you'll know your efforts are going to produce results instead of an emptiness. You'll have more time to spend with your family and more money to do the things you deeply desire to do with them, like vacations or just spending time together because you won't have that stress. You'll start seeing money coming to you in ways you didn't think possible. Yeah, that's a crazy one. Like, as soon as my mindset changed, I had money coming to me in ways that I never even thought of, like inheritance that I never would have pictured getting. It's strange. So, what you need to know, there are 5 keys to 10x your savings in under a year. Let me talk about myself for a moment. So, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first company in 2015 with Cane's Jerky. It's organic beef jerky. I still dabble a little bit in that, but with 2020, I kind of shut it down just because the world kind of shut down and, organic beef jerky wasn't really on people's high list of things. Plus, I ended up relapsing then. I'm a coach, writer, and creator. I am writing my first full book at the moment on women and finances. I'm a boy mom. I have a 16-year-old son. He is fun. Anyone who's a teenage mom knows what I'm talking about. And an animal mom. As you see, the 4 that are staring at us are the original 4, and then the one that is upside down was a stray that I brought into the house around Christmas, so he has kind of made his way into the house now. And then we have our Rottweiler, Riker, who thinks I'm crazy. I am a recovering alcoholic. Like I said, in 2020, I relapsed after about 17 months of recovery. But now, next week, I will actually have 2 years and 4 months of recovery. And now, I mean, not just now, but I've always been a learning addict. If I can learn, I am happy. I would much rather read a book than watch TV. and I love learning. I think it's great. Yeah, so that kind of got me into finances even. But I mean, it wasn't always like this. And I don't remember most of my 20s due to my alcoholism. Like I said, I have 2 years and almost 4 months sober. I have a degree in fine art and business, but that took me 14 years to get because my alcoholism and drinking definitely caused me to not go to class and not really care. So 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 2015, before I started my company, I was actually homeless, living on a park bench for the summer of 2015. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in life until 20 36 years old. So just last year when I decided to open Money Mastery for her. And I have 23 years in restaurant experience. So this is kind of different. I've been all over the place. Like I said, I have a fine art and business degree and then 23 years in restaurants. So I definitely have exhausted all kinds of different things. So that leads us into uncovering the 5 steps. So, how I 10x my savings in under a year without making 7 figures or being tech savvy or being good with numbers. Key number one, you have to become aligned with why you spend over save and how to switch it. This is essential for your growth. It clarifies your values, promotes conscious spending, reduces emotional spending. So you will never grow a savings account without becoming aligned with your spending habits. I mean, that's just common sense because if you don't know what's going out, how can you save what's coming in? And becoming aligned allows you to accept that you can't spend if you want to save. Again, common sense, but some people think that they are able to save, but then realize that they're not following through with their values and what makes sense for their savings account. So up for yourself consistently, powerfully, and prioritize saving over spending. Catch when your thoughts go to shopping mode and be able to reel it back in. That's a big one. If you are an emotional spender and you're lonely, tired, hungry, angry in your shopping, you need to be able to realize that and refocus on what you can do instead of shop. So when you're aligned, you're not going to want to buy that useless stuff anymore. Like, seriously, how many shake weights can one person buy? I don't know how old you are, if you remember the shake weight, but I was huge into buying as seen on TV stuff, and I had more than one shake weight. I am embarrassed to say that. You're going to automatically switch your mindset from scarcity to abundance because when you're constantly living in scarcity and that's all you know and that's all you have ever known, it's difficult to switch it to abundance. And that's why you need to get yourself aligned so you can know where that line of scarcity to abundance is. You're going to realize how much money you really do have because it's not a money game, it's a spending game. Like, it's not about your income because 36% of people who make over 250,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. So it's not an income problem. That's why I say it's not going to help you to make more money if you're not saving where you're at now. You are gonna feel proud of yourself because you have accomplished something that, I mean, either you maybe have told yourself that you can't do, or someone has told you that you can't do it. And I mean, when you accomplish a goal, that gives you dopamine also, and that brings on serotonin, and all the feel good chemicals that are released naturally in your body. And a lot of that is released when you're shopping. But then that's why you get that regret shopping after when you're not committed to saving. So you'll stress over unnecessary situations. You'll worry about possible emergencies popping up because, I mean, like I said, emergencies are called emergencies because they're not planned. So if they're popping up and you need money for them, then that's going to be a stress that you are putting yourself into, unfortunately. You'll end up with nothing to show for the hard work you do because you're working all these hours, you're trading your time for money that you cannot get back, and you have nothing to show for it other than shake weights. You'll always feel unfulfilled because, again, you're buying all this useless, unnecessary items that are not filling the hole in your life. And does that sound like something that you're doing at the moment? And here's how you can become more aligned. So you have to realize that the instant gratification versus delayed rewards. So instant gratification is hitting that buy now button on Amazon versus the delayed rewards of getting that high yield from your savings account and seeing that free money coming to you, which I would much rather have that than buying something off Amazon any day just because I like free money. You can become more aligned by having clear financial goals. I think I wrote that wrong. But if you have clear financial goals, that is going to get you to be more aligned with what you want in your future. Because if you don't have financial goals or goals in general with your life, you don't know where you're planning on going or trying to go in life. And social and peer influences. So, when you become more aligned with your spending as far as social and peers, the ones who are only with you for money or social status, they are going to fall off. And I truly hope that you do not take that as a reflection of you because they were never truly friends to begin with if they were only around for the money. Here's where you'll get stuck with the alignments. You think because something's on sale, it's okay to buy. I mean, you're saving money, right? I mean, you bought 4 things, you get 1 free. Why wouldn't you want that one thing free? Well, because you probably don't even need 1 of the 4 items that you had to buy. So, you're not saving money in the end. You buy and buy and buy, and nothing's making you feel better inside because there's a hole that you're trying to fill that can't be filled with shopping, unfortunately, or whatever you are spending your money on. And you need, or you tell yourself that you need 17 shake weights to feel better. Disclaimer, I did not buy 17 shake weights, but that's the number that popped into my head. But you do not need something outside of yourself to feel better. Like you need God and doing steps to better your life. That's what you need to feel better. And you only buy things you have a coupon for. Again, just like the first bullet here, if you're buying 4 things to get 1 free because you have a coupon, well, if you weren't going to the store to buy one of the 4 things anyway, then it's a waste of money because just because you have a coupon, if you weren't planning on spending that money to begin with, it is a waste of money. And my success story with getting aligned is that I came out of my last relapse with a woe is me mindset and quickly learned that it wasn't benefiting me to think that way. Because when you change your mindset, everything changes and it's just miraculous. And I was able to pay off over 13,000 in debt in under 10 months actually, once I got aligned with God and my spending. because I was making that great income once I got sober again, and I still was in debt and all that. But once I switched my mindset over to what aligned with what I needed in my life and everything, then it was like a light bulb. It was literally a light bulb that popped on as far as how to get out of debt, because I have done finances for 9 years now, and so I knew all the tools I needed. It was just getting that mindset and turning my will over to God that helped me. And this is why aligning with why you spend instead of save and learning to switch that is a non-negotiable. Like, you cannot save if you do not switch your mindset over and become aligned with your goals and where you want to see yourself. Oh, that brings us to key number 2, getting out of your own way. So you have to stay strong in what you want, tell yourself daily what you want, show yourself what you want, and thank God for what you want as though you already have it. So every morning I wake up and I literally say, "Thank you, God, for the blessings that you are bringing me," because He wants to be thought of and thanked. And when you're constantly saying, like, "Oh, God, please just give me this," well, maybe that's not in His plan for you. So that is why I word it as such. When you put reason behind you, the possibilities are endless, because when people think about the future, they think about the past and what hasn't worked for them. And that is another mindset that you need to get away, because the future hasn't happened. Just because something happened in the past does not mean something's going to happen like that in the future. When you get out of your own way, you'll know God is there with you. Realize why nothing worked in the past. You'll save with ease and you'll trust yourself, because honestly, that last one, you have heard 100% of the lies that you have told in your life. So it is a tough thing to start trusting yourself sometimes. And when you, even as far as I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. and go work out, well, 6 a.m. comes and you hit that snooze button or just turn off the alarm completely, well, then you're lying to yourself because you're not getting up. And a lot of times that is something that you need to get through and work on trusting yourself. But if you can't get out of your own way, then making money won't produce results. Because, like I said, I was making very good money, but it wasn't until I changed my mindset that I actually was able to pay that 13,000 in less than 10 months. You'll continue to overspend and not save. You'll always struggle to have enough money for an emergency, because, again, we need emergency help. There are a lot of issues that can pop up in life, and we need to be prepared. It's essential to keep track of your budget. That's not just saying in your head, "Oh, I spent this amount on McDonald's. Oh, I spent this amount at the grocery store." You need to fully keep track of your budget and know where each dollar, dime, nickel, penny is going. You need to reframe your thoughts towards money. So these limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself, that you're not good with numbers, that you're not tech savvy, so you can't do the online banking, that you've always been poor, so you always will be. You need to get rid of that garbage and stop telling yourself that. Oh, and you need to flip the script. So again, with the limiting beliefs, if you're telling yourself that you have always been poor, you always will be, well, you need to flip that and say that the future is uncertain. It hasn't happened yet, and I will be rich. But if you can't get out of your own way, wait, okay, somehow I went backwards. I don't even know how I did that. Here's where you might get stuck. You think to yourself, "Yeah, I already know this stuff." Yeah, like I said, I was in financial learning and teaching myself and all of this for the last 9 years, and I still have been in debt more times than I care to admit, but like I said, I came out of my last relapse with 13,000 in debt, and I paid that off in under 10 months. So you can get out of this, and just because you think you know it, you're not implementing it. You don't focus on your end game and goals. So again, if you don't have a goal set, whether that's short term, midterm, long term, you need to do that because we can't see where we're going if we don't know where we're going. I mean, you can say that you want to make $1 million a year, but what's your specific goal? And you don't ask for help. Again, it comes down to you don't know what you don't know. What is coming out of your mouth at any given time is not new information for you. It is when we listen and ask for help that we learn something new. And my success story is once I got out of my own way, which I had to learn to let God do the heavy lifting, I realized He provides in ways I couldn't see. When I wanted different things and He has told me no in the past, like I needed to learn to accept that. And when I realized that as long as I was doing the work, it was going to work, life got easier. Because if you're putting in the work, it's going to work. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I mean, at some points it matters, but for the most point, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I mean, unless we die tomorrow in some horrific accident or something, you are planning on living for a while longer. So whether it's 30 years of savings or longer, it's going to happen. And what are you going to do with that time? If you can't get out of your own way and let God work it out, you'll never create the savings account you need. So again, that's going into the mindset work and letting God take the wheel, and you just need to put in the work and the effort, and God can move mountains. But sometimes don't be surprised if He puts a shovel in your hand. So that brings us into key number 3, why so many Christians think savings and emergency funds are pipe dreams. Without an emergency fund or savings account, you'll always be stressed. Again, finances are the number one stressor in the world. Well, as far as Americans, anyway. We're not taught to save. I mean, I even went to school for business and I was not taught finances other than like a macro and micro economy class. It's not taught. So, unless you're literally going to school to learn finances, we are not taught it. And again, that goes back to the banks wanting you to fail. That's honestly what it is. And consumerism is how the economy goes around, but you need to find the right balance. I mean, if you're buying shake weights or anything as seen on TV, that is not a necessary purchase. You absolutely must contribute consistently to your savings each month. Oh, what does that look like? Even if it's $50 a month, even if it's 25 a month, even if it's $5 a month, that is going to eventually make a difference. And I did the math the other day of if you put in $45 a month consistently, you will have $49,000 in 30 years. And that's with a 6% yield rate. So, but the actual contribution amount will be, I believe, 17,000. So you're only putting 17,000 in, but you're getting 49,000. I'd say that's a nice chunk of free money. So when you consistently save, compound interest adds up. Like I just said, that was literally compound interest adding up, going from 17,000 to 49. It becomes easier to allow for that money out of your budget. If you are constantly allowing for it each month, you don't even pay attention to that money not being available. You'll learn to trust yourself because you are being consistent. You are doing something that you say you are planning to do. You'll have more confidence, you'll be happier, you'll have less stress because when you're consistently saving, you don't need to worry about where that money is going because you know it's going to something that will make you happier and improve your quality of life. And if you consistently brush off savings, you'll be screwed if an emergency happens. I mean, we've gone over that plenty of times. Your stress will worsen because, again, emergencies, your quality of life will be reduced because you are buying useless things and you might think that they're upping your quality of life, but they're just making you miserable and sad, and you don't have the money for what you really want. And you'll have missed opportunities for saving for the next generation. Because, I mean, if you're not saving and consistently, then you're teaching your children the exact same mindset that you're going through and how you got to believe that generational being generationally poor is acceptable, or they'll see that honestly what it's like and not know different because we know what we know and we don't know what we don't know. So if you do it right, you'll live comfortably and with less stress. Your children and grandchildren will never know financial hardship. You'll be able to retire at the age that you want to, either before or after, like when it says you should. So 59 and a half. If you feel stuck in growing your savings, you're not staying consistent, you're living above your means, could be suffering either fear of failure or fear of success because, I mean, fear of failure, you feel like you're not saving enough, or you wish you had started sooner, or you can't do this, which all of those are ridiculous, but they're still stories that we tell ourselves. And fear of success, like what happens if you do this, and what happens if you have this amazing savings account? Well, that's money that you can't touch. And just again, stories that you tell yourself. So you're feeling stuck in growing your savings, you have a scarcity mindset and fear not having enough for everyday expenses. Well, that's why it's a savings account. And if you're saving not more than the percentage that you agreed upon in the beginning, you are going to have enough for everyday expenses. So my success story with this, and I mean, if you've been paying attention, I'm in recovery from alcohol and drugs. And one thing I do each month, and I have since I first started this journey of saving and sobriety and whatnot, is to take a portion of the $620 a month that I was spending on alcohol, which was roughly about $20 a day for a bottle, and I put it in my savings. And I mean, I was saving that before, so coming into sobriety, it was just easier not to think about it. I mean, in the beginning, I thought about it because I was not having that money and I didn't have a bottle either. So you have to, again, get rid of that mindset. So if you can't save when your income is smaller, you'll never save when it grows. And that's the problem with people who are making exponential amounts of money and they're living paycheck to paycheck because they don't learn to do it when their income is smaller. So that brings us on to key number 4, building a fun financial lifestyle. So having fun on a budget can be an experience too. You don't have to go and do lavish dinners or go to the bar every night. It's just, you don't have to do that. Fun doesn't have to mean going out every weekend and spending $500. Like, you don't need bottle service. Sorry, I don't know who told you you did. Knowing when to listen to your gut. If your gut is telling you not to do something, well, I take that as the Holy Spirit that lives inside you, and I listen to mine. So the gut actually produces more serotonin than your brain, and that is something that actually makes you feel good. So when your gut is telling you something doesn't feel good, I listen to it. If you continue to throw money at fun things, you will always struggle. So that again, if you're going out and spending thousands of dollars a weekend in Vegas or at the bar, like that does not help your bank account. That does not make you feel good. That does not do anything in the long run to benefit you. Fun, financial, focused lifestyle helps you have fun in ways that doesn't make you go broke, be rich instead of look it, save for a lifetime of possibilities. And going back to the be rich instead of look it, I mean, the goal is to be rich. Like, I mean, a lot of people just want to look it, but wouldn't you rather in the long run be rich instead of having a Rolex or a new Coach purse or something like that? I mean, I honestly don't even notice brands like that because I just that's not a prerogative of mine. But I mean, eventually, if you do this right, you can have that stuff. I'm not saying that you have to be financially focused for the rest of your life, just for now. And that's when the miracles happen. And you're saving for a lifetime of possibilities. And it's not just possibilities, it's actually probabilities. Like you are going to take your children on vacation or you are going to buy a house. And wouldn't that be much better than going to the bar every week? And if you fail at giving up the fun lifestyle, which I mean, yeah, you'll always be broke. You'll always be stressed. The people around you most likely only care about the money. We touched on that before, that people who only care about the money end up weeding themselves out. Painful cycle of scarcity, fear, and worry will perpetuate and just continue. And as far as learning to have fun on a budget, it strengthens those relationships that you have that are meaningful and matter. Improves budgeting so that you can actually figure out that you have more money. Encourages healthier habits. So because I budget, I actually am able to get the healthier food. And yes, healthier food costs more money, but when you budget it for it, and I'm not going out and spending money on the weekends, and that allows me to have healthier habits like that. And it helps break the stress cycle because, again, finances are the number one stressor. And when you are on a budget and following a budget, it relieves that stress. So, reality check, gaps are likely everywhere in your journey to still have fun on a budget because limited savings and investments. Well, I mean, reality check, you need savings and investments to be able to continue your journey. I mean, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you have no savings or investments, well, what does that tell you internally about your life? I mean, you are probably stressed, worried about the next emergency that's going to pop up, and that's a gap that you need to realize in your budget that you need to take care of. Impact on mental well-being because again, stress wears our body down so much. And stress is the number one cause of heart disease, which is the number one cause of death in the US. So to say that finances are ultimately the number one cause of death, I don't feel is a far leap. It's not a quantum leap. It is something that is impacting all of us. Like when you are stressed about something, you don't sleep right, you don't eat right, you have poor like social encounters, and it's just a strain on your relationships because again, you're not sleeping right, you're not eating right, you're stressed, there's sudden outbursts, and I know from experience that it's not fun and limited career flexibility. So if you are believing that you need more money and you need money to have fun, then you are probably wondering like when your raise or promotion is going to happen. And sometimes your career needs some flexibility in it to be able to give you that budget friendly fun time. And yeah, so my success story with key number 4, and they all keep seeming to revolve around getting sober because honestly, sobriety is such a main thing for me that I would 100%, I believe, be dead by now if I hadn't gotten sober. And when I got sober, it saved me so much money. Even if we just went to the local bar to drink, we were still looking at $100 a night. So now imagine doing that multiple times a week. And since I got sober, we love hiking and being in nature. And we did a 4,000-mile road trip. And this last or 2023 summer, we did 12 national parks and monuments, and it was $80 for America the Beautiful for a year pass. So all of those parks normally are like $23 a person or a car, and it was only $80 for everything. So there are fun things to do when you're sober and looking for budget friendly things. Like just because you are saving money does not mean boredom. Just because you're not spending thousands of dollars on going out to eat, drinking, shopping, or other expensive extracurriculars doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life on a budget. And now we get into key number 5, investing in a coach, because accountability, new eyes on the situation, step by step proven plan. Because again, if you've tried it in the past and you just fail, and because I mean, we've all been there, like you probably didn't have someone holding you accountable and new eyes on the situation because you can't see where you are in a situation if you are nose deep in it. And my proven plan is it's a step-by-step proven plan that has gotten me out of debt now twice. And if you haven't done it now by now, statistically, you won't. So that's another thing. Only 5% of people who set out to do a goal actually accomplish it. And I don't know if I'd even go about saying that high sometimes because people just don't follow through anymore if they don't have accountability and implementing, and you need someone in your corner to get clarity on financial goals, to identify and overcome the limiting beliefs, to personalize financial strategies, to keep you accountable and motivated, to teach you budgeting and money management skills because everything on this slide is not taught in school. Again, unless you are going to school specifically for finances, you are not taught this. And even so many people that are in the banking world, they are not kept accountable for their own accounts or motivated or even do budgeting and money management skills. And this is my coach, Nicole. And a good mentor helps you navigate your path, offers guidance and strategies, and keeps you accountable, which she does for me. A great mentor will also bring together a group of Christians to multiply everyone's success. So you are only as good as your coach. Like if you have a crappy coach telling you stuff and you don't believe in it, then you're not going to listen to that person. But if you try to go it alone, you'll spend needless time guessing about how to get results. You'll lose money in interest. Again, if you don't put money into a high yielding savings account, you are missing that yield each year or each quarter or each month whenever it is paid out to you. You may even give up on savings and your dreams or goals that would come from accomplishing them because you just don't see it as or like you can't accomplish it. You see it as a pipe dream, which we went over why it's not. And it's just something that is not easy. And one of my clients just the other day, I was talking with her and she said she's getting frustrated because it's new stuff and something that we're not taught. Well, that's how you know you're growing because growth hurts, change hurts. And unfortunately, not everyone is okay with that. But you'll also lose the belief that achieving 10x levels of growth is even possible for you. And that is one of the killers of dreams is when you don't think it's possible for you because everything is possible. Again, the future is not written. And if you don't make a change now, when will you? If you're saying tomorrow, if you're procrastinating, why? What is going to change tomorrow that wouldn't have gotten you to where you want to do today? And today, this earlier, I promised that my keys to growing both a savings account and a financial mindset will get you 10x financial growth in under 12 months. The biggest mistakes Christians make when growing their savings. How step number 4 helps you stress less so you can shop without restriction. You'll understand why it's vital to get clear on precisely what you want with your savings and how to talk about it in a way that magnetically attracts your dream finances. You'll stop wondering if saving is possible and start making it all happen. To show you what you need to do that feels aligned and intuitive to you. And I promised that I'd show you how it's actually easy to save 10x while stressing less. What you need to succeed. You need to become aligned. You need to get out of your own way. You need to know why Christians think savings and emergency funds are pipe dreams, how to still have the fun lifestyle, and invest in a mentor. If you implement these steps, you will reduce financial stress, which honestly, it your financial stress from my clients' experiences, it actually reduces within a week or 2 after signing up with my course. Develop compound growth. Again, that's free money that you probably aren't getting right now. Enhance your financial well-being because if when you stress less, your well-being and your mental well-being and everything improves. If you implement these steps, you'll reduce reliance on credit because you will understand that credit, while not all credit is bad, you do not want credit to be hanging over your head. And not only an emergency fund, but it's an opportunity fund because when you save, that just opens the door for if you want to take your kids on a spontaneous vacation to Disney World, or you want to save for Disney World and have your account actually paying you money that you can spend on extra stuff. So now, the proverbial fork in the road, you must choose how I can support you. So, a 45-minute breakthrough free session so we can uncover what's not working and why. We'll go over how the money mindset reset can get you on the correct financial path. If it seems like a fit, I may invite you to be one of the clients I bring on this month in my money mindset reset course. I only take 10 at a time, so you do not want to wait on this. Serious This is for serious Christians who are committed to doing the work to hit your savings goals. Those who know they need something new because what you've tried in the past has not worked. Christians who desire to create a time leveraged, financially abundant savings account. And those who resonated with my message today. This isn't for Christians who are looking for someone to do the work and those who make excuses, whiners, complainers, and blamers, because if you're looking at outside factors, then I can't help you. Like, you have to take accountability for your own actions and why things have not worked in the past for you. Those who are more interested in fads or get rich quick schemes than real transformation, because there's no such thing as get rich quick scheme. The reasons I'm doing this, I want you to be a wealth warrior for Christ so we can change the world. When people say that, oh, it's only the wealthy that change the world, well, become wealthy and then we can change the world. Really that simple. I want to help you make the greatest impact. Again, changing the world, people. I want you to stop feeling like you're killing yourself by stressing about savings. I want you to stop doing all the things and focus on what works, because if you are trying to do 17 things at once, well, then none of those 17 things are going to prosper and do anything beneficial for you. And my proven course, it's new and it is something that I know you haven't done before. So, because there's nothing out there like it, and it is a proven works course. If you allow me to support you, you'll experience massive personal and professional growth. You'll achieve tangible results in your first few weeks. You'll be held accountable for doing the work that creates the results, because if I just had you doing stuff that doesn't make any sense, well, that's not going to create results and you're not going to 10x your savings in under a year. You'll receive full support and feedback so you're not trying to figure it out alone. And that is one thing I am huge on, because this is not something you can do alone. I mean, if you're here, chances are you've tried doing it on your own and it hasn't worked, correct? Have you tried doing financial savings on your own? Has it worked? So here's your invitation. Schedule your 45-minute breakthrough session now. Like I said, space is limited, and a wise man saves for the future. That's Proverbs 21:20. So I want to share now what I or share the link with you to set up a 45-minute breakthrough session. And I cannot wait to get you on with talking with me. And with that, we are done. So I will be sending out this replay for the people who have or who missed it. And I cannot wait to talk with all of you. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night.